Hello, everyone. My name is Madison Strawman.
WAVY News.
They've been spraying chemtrails, and I'm sure you've probably heard of them before, but where I live, they've been literally spraying us down with these chemtrails, and I'm watching them all day long and every day. I document them and stuff, and I've already called the EPA, the FAA, and every other A, and I was just wondering if y'all have ever covered chemtrails in the news before.
I mean, we've looked into it before, but everything that we found is, they're contrails, not chemtrails.
Right. Well, who were your experts and stuff? Did you actually really dove into it? Because the EPA's never investigated one public case of chemtrails ever. They've never done a soil sample or air sample, rain, or anything. So I don't see how you could possibly say that you've come to the conclusion that they were contrails when no public government or agency has investigated them yet.
Okay, can you hold on 1 second for me? Let me
Sure,
just look
problem.
up and see what we have. Hold on.
Okay.
You should probably tell him that you have about 20 people on the line.
Okay.
That'll probably get him to do something.
Okay, still trying to get all the information for you. But I did find one thing. Sorry, I just wasn't prepared for all these questions about this. But we do have a paper written by the Air Force who addresses, the claim of chemtrails that I guess has been going around since 1996.
The claim? We actually have the Air Force document stating that they do have this as a weather weapon. So you're going to have to come better than that.
Oh, can you send that to me?
If you'd like, I'll send you some of the documents myself.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, you can send it to newsdesk@wavy.com.
I called y'all about the EPA coming out to my house to do a soil sample, and I spoke with several different people from your newsroom, and no one ever called me back. The EPA was going to come out and test for aluminum that's coming from the sky from planes that are poisoning us. It's making me think that WAVY TV 10 News is covering up stuff.
Okay, would you like to talk to our news director?
We'll probably introduce ourselves as well.
What is your first name?
My name is Madison.
Okay, Madison.
Yeah.
Understand the position that you just put me in. Here's what you did.
Okay.
You cold called a television station with a number of people on the line, and when I pick up the phone, you start in on the fact that you want to complain, and then you start in on your complaint, and you generally say that this is a conference call, that there are a number of people. That's really not the way to do business.
Okay,
I would be more. Here's how you should have handled it, and I would be more than happy to listen to your feedback and your critique.
Okay.
But that was really very unfair what you did, and I'm a very fair guy, and I love getting feedback from people when it comes to the coverage that we give or the lack of coverage in your eyes. But you really didn't set me up very well. Here's what you do, Madison.
Yes.
You call me up and you say, "Hi, Jim. My name is Madison, and I'm affiliated with an organization known as such and such. Would you mind if I brought in some of my colleagues on the phone on a conference call because I want to talk to you about what WAVY did or did not do on a particular story?" And I would say, if I had the time, I would say, "Sure, you can put on people as long as you tell me who these people are and who you're affiliated with and what you're all about. You don't just cold call somebody to bitch about a story. It's just not. I mean, you're not doing yourself any favors. You've lost your credibility right off the bat with me.
Is it fair to spray chemicals over top of us day in and day out? And I did already call you and give you the chance to call me back. I told you my whole story. I left it to you on many messages, and I even spoke with your newsroom.
You never talked to Madison. You never talked to me.
Maybe not you personally, because no one would call me back from your television station.
But when you say I gave you an opportunity, you've never talked to me.
Well, WAVY TV 10.
Okay. So okay. I have a newsroom of 70 people.
And none of them could get back to me? Not one out of 70?
I have no idea what you're saying. I have no idea if even what you're saying is true.
Okay.
What are you talking about? What story are you talking about?
Can you let me speak a sentence and then you'll know what I'm talking about?
You're backing into the story. You're complaining about something environmental, but I have no idea what you're talking about. If you call me on the phone cold calling me, you say, "Hey, I want to have a conversation, a thoughtful conversation with you about the lack of coverage of a story. Can I set up a time where I can spend 10 minutes of your time?" Then yes, I would have researched it and I would have had a conversation.
Can we do that? Can we do that? Can I arrange a time? Because
No, ma'am. You've lost your credibility. Tell me what your story is now. Tell me what your story is. You've lost your credibility, and you don't appreciate.
You're not letting me tell my story.
You don't appreciate why. You don't appreciate why you lost your credibility.
Okay, so you're telling me now that you will not speak to me at all?
I'm saying I don't want. What I'm saying is I don't want you to call me back, and I don't want to do research. You've got me on the phone. What is your concern?
Airplanes are spraying chemicals over top of my house. I've reported this 1,000 million times to all the federal government agencies. They all know me. No one will help me. No one will even take a soil sample, sir.
I'm going to be a reporter here. Let me back up just 1 second. Listen, you have, Madison, you have no idea who you've got on the phone right now. I am on your side, okay? I want to help you, but you are screwing yourself. Listen to what I'm asking you, okay? You haven't called 1,000,000 whatever times. Don't use hyperbole. I want to get to the bottom of this, and I want to help you because you're obviously passionate and upset about something.
Okay.
I want to find if there's a story. First of all, where do you live?
I live in Virginia Beach, right next to the Dam Neck military base.
Okay, you live in Virginia Beach near Dam Neck.
Yes.
And you have complained to the federal government that planes are spraying over the top of your house.
I've complained to every single government agency you can think of, including the DEQ for the state.
Since when? For how long?
I've been doing it for about 2 years now.
Okay, and why? And what's your main complaint? They're spraying chemicals like mosquito spraying, or what are you talking about?
They're spraying chemtrails in the air, which is coming out of the back of the airplanes. I watch them sprayed over the sun. I can't figure out why they're trying to block out the sun.
What are they? What chemtrails are you talking? I mean, chemtrails just by their nature is steam from an engine. It's not any chemical.
I'm not worried about the contrails, the natural phenomena of aircraft. I'm only concerned with latent chemtrails that last and linger in the air.
I'm in the business of trying to get to the heart of the truth. I always try to find a story and the true story, the truth. Okay? You cold called me the way you cold called me, which was not. It wasn't professional. It was not. It was not handled well. I understand that you're trying to get an audience with somebody, but you've complained to the federal government for 2 years. Again, damages your credibility. You don't. Do you have any of your neighbors? Anybody else complaining about it?
That damages my credibility to go to the federal government agencies that are set up to protect us against environmental dangers like these?
For 2 years and nothing has happened?
Yes, because I'm not willing to give up, sir.
But what I'm saying, but hang on, I'm talking about your credibility, Madison. What about your neighbors? What about your neighborhood? What about Mayor Sessoms? What about the city council? Anybody else besides you complaining about this?
Yes,
I've started to, actually. I just got into it recently.
Okay, there are not millions of people because there's only 600,000 people who are in that area of the place you're talking about.
I wasn't specifically talking about Hampton Roads, sir. I'm talking about in general. And yes, there are other aware chemtrail activists in my area, if that's what you're asking. But all I'm asking you to do is, if you would just give me an opportunity to show you my evidence personally.
So what is the chemical?
Barium, aluminum, strontium. They found bacteria and all kinds of crazy, even fluoride and other stuff.
And why would they be spraying that out of an airplane?
Well, probably the same reason why they put fluoride in our water and GMOs in our food. Until we have a government study done, like a literal government come and take soil, test it, and show the public what...
But back up a second. When I ask you a question about why would they spray chemicals over the top of over your house,
it's
and
not
you
just
say
over my house. It's over the entire area.
I understand.
Okay.
And your answer is it's the same reason why they put fluoride in the water. Well, fluoride in the water is good according to a large segment of the population.
Okay, but that's a segment that's uneducated and unaware. We know what the fluoride does. Fluoride is not good for any human to ingest. And if they try to say it's good for the teeth, let's stay off the fluoride, please. Let's just stick to one thing at a time.
It's a question of how much resource do I spend trying to get to the heart of the story? And you're just not. You don't
want your eyes. I just want your eyes to view it. You don't have to.
Tell you what I'll do for you. I want you to send an email. Do you have access to email?
Yes.
Send an email to the news desk at wavy.com, Don't use hyperbole. Hyperbole is the first way that you sound like a crackpot. So Madison, I'm trying to help you here. Seriously.
I know. I appreciate it.
You don't realize how you're coming across, how you sound. You sound like a crazy person who got on a conference call and hit up the television station to come out and do a story on federal agencies that spent 2 years doing something to your neighborhood. You just don't. It just doesn't sound.
I absolutely. The way how you've spun that is completely preposterous. My final statement is they are spraying chemtrails globally, and I'm just concerned with my particular area because this is where I've been documenting. This is where I've called and reported it to. So
That's fine, but again, you get back to the beginning. It's like if I wanted to complain and get some kind of news coverage from somebody, the last thing that I would do is cold call a television station, and the first person I got on the line, I started hammering them on the fact that we don't cover your story with a conference call. I have no idea how many people are listening to this.
Well, hopefully it'll be millions.
To the conference call, to this conference call. Okay, so millions of people are listening to me right now. So for the millions of people who are listening, let me tell all of you that the way you're going about trying to get news coverage is probably the least effective way. And
What's
you're talking
the most effective way? Well, I'll be the example for what not to do then.
Tell you what, the most effective way is for you to send an email to the news desk and say, I have a story idea, and I have and you want to put it in a succinct, non-hyperbole way. You want to say, I live in Virginia Beach, and for the last 2 years, I'm claiming that I have this, that these things have happened, and I have reached out to this group and this group and this group, and they refuse to deal with me. They've refused whatever.
Right.
And then what I will do is I will make one single phone call to any one of those agencies that you list and say, what is the deal here? What is the story here?
That's awesome.
Okay? And then we can go, and then is it worth the time of someone exploring a real story, which is planes are why would planes be spreading chemicals over the top of Virginia Beach, or are you off base? And again, what I'm saying is I give you 10 minutes of my time, but it's based on the fact that I'm trying to help you, but you really don't. In terms of the way you wanted to go get it done, what your goal was to get some story coverage, that wasn't the way to do it. Cold call someone and bitch about lack of coverage over something I have no idea what you're talking about with a group of people who never identified themselves. I mean, come on. I'm unclear on why someone in where I didn't even know where you lived had plane. I mean, when you call me up and you cold call,
right next to the damn military base. I told you that earlier.
You said I live. No, you never said that. The first time I heard a location was some male voice said I live in Richmond.
I did. I told you I live right next door to the damn military base. I sure did.
Yeah, well, I didn't get that. First of all, where do you live?
I live in Virginia Beach, right next to the Dam Neck military base.
Okay, you live in Virginia Beach near Dam Neck. I'm unclear on why someone in where I didn't even know where you lived had plane. I mean, when you call me up and you cold call,
right next to the Dam Neck military base. I told you that earlier.
You said I live. No, you never said that. The first time I heard a location was some male voice said I live in Richmond.
I did. I told you I live right next door to the Dam Neck military base. I sure did.
Yeah, well, I didn't get that.
I'm going to send you your email, and then we'll go from there.
Leave your phone number and your name and your address. A synopsis. It shouldn't be very long. It should be a synopsis on what your complaint is and who you've complained to. We can make just a few phone calls. We can call a couple of the agencies who are there, see if there's anything legitimate. If there's documentation, we can go and scope that out as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
all right. Have a great day, people.
Before you guys hang up,